It doesn't start with talent. It doesn't start with luck. It doesn't even start with resources. It starts with belief. Every mountain ever moved, every business ever built, every life ever changed, started with someone who believed something bigger than what they could see. And the truth is, God didn't create you to play small. He didn't breathe His Spirit into you so you could shrink at the sound of doubt. He didn't design your soul for safety. He designed it for stretching. Because big belief is a form of worship. When you believe big, you're telling heaven, I trust what you've put in me more than the fear around me. You're saying, Hatan, God, I don't see the whole staircase, but I'll take the step because I know who's building it. People will call it delusion. They'll say it's unrealistic. They'll whisper, you're too ambitious. But they weren't there when God whispered to your soul. They didn't see what He showed you in that quiet moment. They don't carry your calling. You were never meant to fit into their comfort zone. You were meant to shake the ground you walk on. But belief without action is just potential wasting away. God won't bless what you think about doing. He blesses the person who moves, even if they're scared, even if it's messy, even if it means walking on water with shaking legs and eyes locked on Jesus. Look at every story of a breakthrough. Abraham left his home without knowing the destination. Moses raised his staff before the Red Sea split. Peter stepped out of the boat before he knew if the waves would hold. David ran toward Goliath with a sling, not a sword. None of them had guarantees, but they moved anyway. Because belief isn't belief until it walks. So ask yourself, what are you waiting for? A perfect moment? Permission from people who don't know your assignment? You don't need perfect conditions. You need a clear conviction. And when you move with that conviction, heaven responds. God doesn't wait for comfort. He moves through courage, through sacrifice, through discipline. Discipline that says, I don't feel like it today, but I show up anyway. Discipline that rewires your habits to match your calling. Discipline that builds when no one's clapping. That's when no one's watching. That gives when it hurts. That says yes when everything in you wants to run. You don't need more motivation. You need more motion. You need to get up even when the emotions don't follow. You need to lead your life like the miracles are already in motion. Because the moment you move like it's yours, the atmosphere begins to shift. Doors that were locked started to crack. Connections begin to align. Strength starts to rise. Not because the world changed, but because you did. The moment you decided to believe big, the moment you committed to move bigger, you stepped into alignment with what God had already prepared. You weren't waiting on Him. He was waiting on you. You see, God doesn't play small with those who carry a big purpose. He doesn't whisper promises to let them die in your notebook. He speaks to awaken the warrior in you, to stretch your faith into motion, to transform belief into impact. So stop doubting your size when you serve a limitless God. Stop shrinking your vision to fit someone else's comfort. Stop delaying destiny because you're still rehearsing what might go wrong. Start walking as if your breakthrough is just behind the next step. Start praying like the doors are already opening. Start working like lives depend on your obedience, because they do. You don't just believe big for yourself. You believe big so others can see what's possible. Your faith will unlock someone else's courage. Your movement will become their momentum. Your life will be a living blueprint of what God can do through someone who refused to play small. So believe big and move even bigger. Not tomorrow, Not when you feel ready, now. Because the time is already set. The vision has already been seen. The favor has already been written. All that's left is your movement.